Hello friends. So now today we are starting functions, basics of functions, parameters and arguments. Today, day 5th, we are starting unit 3. In unit 3, we are covering the topics functions, parameters and arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments and variable length argument, anonymous functions, global and local variables function compositions and so on. Now let's start today's day 5th. Firstly, we are covering theoretical portion, definition based portion. After that, we are covering some syntax and basic types of questions from basic to high level questions. Then now we start the theoretical portion. Firstly, what is functions? A functions is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Functions is a block of code, reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Example, def and later dates parameters. What is parameters? In short, variables written inside the function definition. Variables written inside the function definitions. ये किसमें था एग्जांपल फंक्शंस में. Parameter. Now this is the example of parameters. Parameters are the variable written inside the function definitions. Here A and B are the parameters. A and B are the parameters. And now we are moving to the arguments. Arguments are the values passed while calling the functions. Values passed while calling the function. Here 10 and 20s are the argument. 10 and 20 are the argument. Now we are discussing the syntax of function. Function syntax. Firstly written def, function name, and after that function's body. After that function's body. Firstly using def function name and after that function's name. Based on this, we are written one code. Example on function. Def welcome print welcome to Python. So our output comes welcome to Python. What's our output? Welcome to Python. So the syntax of functions. Firstly def function name. After that function's body. Now we are talking to the advantage of functions. Reduce code duplication, make code reusable, improves readability, makes debugging easier, helps in modular programming. And now after that, examples of parameters. Example of parameter. Firstly, we are use def, square, number, print, square root of 6. What's the output? Our output comes 36. Firstly, def a square number. After that, print number square, and the square's value is 6. Area of square 6. Square is given 6 and number, and after that 6 square, 6 into 6, 36 is the output. And now after that the example of argument. Def here 5 and 8 are the arguments. Now let's see. Our output comes 40. 40. 36 is the upper question's parameter, arguments output 36. But 40 is the output of arguments example. And 36 is the parameters example. Parameters output, examples output. And here this example, 5 and 8 are the arguments. Now we are seeing difference between parameter and arguments. Parameters declared in function definitions, placeholder variable, example x, y, z, and so on. Now in part of arguments, passed during function call, actual value, Example 10, 20, 30, 5, 10, any number is the argument of is the example of argument. But in other parts, any variables are the example of parameters. Now we are moving to the next topic, types of function. Firstly, functions without parameters. Second, function with parameters. Thirdly, functions with return value. Now we are seeing high level questions. Now the first question is, find the largest number using a function. Find the largest number using a function. Def Now in these questions, the functions receive a list as a parameters. It compares every element and then returns the largest number. First, def largest number. After that, compare the number and then return maximum number. Here some numbers are given: 45, 87, 23, 98, and 54. From this number, we are finding maximum number or largest number. So here the maximum number or largest number is 98. So then output is 98. Now we are seeing the next questions. Count even and odd number using a function. Count even and odd number using a function. So def count even odd number. Even print even. Now here in this code, the functions take a list as a parameter and then count even and odd number separately. After that returns two values. After that returns two values. And now third question is check whether a number is an Armstrong number. Check whether a number is an Armstrong number. Def Total. Total. In this code, we're seeing def armstrong number, total 0, temp num, while temp is greater than 0, if total equal to num, return armstrong number, else not armstrong number. The functions receive a number as a parameters, calculates the sum of the cube of the digits, and after that compares the result with the original number and returns the appropriate message and returns the appropriate message. And now after that we are seeing what are keyword arguments. Now the keyword arguments are the arguments passed to a functions by specifying the parameter name. This means the order of arguments does not matter. The order of arguments does not matter. Now, now the syntax of keyword argument is function name parameter 1 is equal to value 1, parameter 2 equal to value 2. Now, sing one example of keyword argument. Print age. After that, call student. Age equal to 20. Name equal to Ankit. Now run the code and our output comes name Ankit is 20. In this example, age and name are the keyword arguments, and that the order is changed, but output is correct. Order is changed, but output is correct. So the our output is name Ankit is 20. Now let's see the next example. City, country. Print country. Details, India. City, Delhi. Now see, details is not found. Details. Our output is Delhi, India. Firstly, we are seeing the details of defined function city and countries. Country India, city Delhi. So then print what's up print city and country. So city Delhi and country India. Then output is Delhi, India. Now see one other questions related to keyword arguments. Def Firstly we are defining employee name, salary and department. Employees name, salary and departments. After that, print name, salary. And now next print department. And the next employee. And the next salary. How much sell 60,000. Now run this code. Now our output comes name Ankit, salary 60,000, department IT. First we are defining an employee. In employee name, salary, departments, and then name, print salary, print departments. After that, employees name, salary, and departments. What's the name? Ankit. Salary 60,000, departments IT. So and the next print name, salary, and departments. Our output comes name Ankit, salary 60,000, department IT. Now we are seeing our next questions related to product information. Firstly, define product and what's the product detail name, price, and quantity. After that, how much how to calculate the product's price into quantity. Print Product's name laptop. How much price? 45,000. Now run this code. Our output comes product laptop total price 2,25,000. Why there comes 2,25,000? Because of products prices totals price into quantity. How much? Laptops. So total 5 lap quantity product. Total 5 laptops. One laptop price 45,000 and into 5. So then they calculates 2,25,000 and the product's name laptop. And next we are studied about the default arguments. What are default arguments? A default arguments is a parameter that has already default value. It is if no values is passed during the function's call, Python uses default values. And next, the syntax of default arguments is firstly define functions parameter default value. Now seeing one example related to default arguments. Def define power, number, exponent equal to, then return number, exponent. And after that print power 5. Print power. Now let's see the output 25 and 125. Power uses the default exponent to power 5 comma 3 replaces the default value with 3. 5 comma 3 replaces the default value 3. And now after that we are seeing variable length argument. Sometimes we don't know how many arguments will be passed to a function's Python provides. Non-keyword variable, non-keyword variable length argument. Argument accepts any number of positional arguments. Now, see one example related to variable length arguments. Def total print some number. Now the output comes 100. Now we are seeing high level questions related to variable length arguments. Find average using arguments. To depth average number how to find average sum number upon length of number. After that print average now see the outputs. Now we move forward to the next questions. Bill calculator using default arguments. Firstly define bill price quantity. After the discount, total. How to calculate total price? Price into quantity. After final, total minus discount. Print final bill. Bill 500. Now see the outputs. Our output comes final bill 500 and another 1500 and another 1300. Now how to understand these questions? Step first, define bill price quantity equal 1, discount equal to 0, price price of one item, quantity default quantity is 1 if not forwarded, discount equal 0, default discount is 0 if not provided. So if you don't pass quantity or discount, Python automatically uses their default value. And now step 2, calculate total price. How to calculate total price? Total price into quantity. Price into quantity. And now step 3, calculate final bill. How to calculate final bills? Total minus discount amount. Total amount minus discount amount. After that, step 4, print final bill. And after that, call function. Bill 500. Value passed. Quantity 1 default value. Discount 0 default value. And now final result. Our output is 500, 1500 and 1300. Now today in this lecture, we are covered basics of functions, parameters and arguments. And after that, keyword arguments, default arguments and variable length arguments. Firstly, basics of functions. We are covering define, some basic examples, And after that, high level questions in parameters and arguments, also same types. Firstly covered basics and basic examples, and after that high level questions covered. Keyword arguments, basics, syntax, examples. Now, today we stop the lectures up to date topics. In another lecture, day 6, we are covering rest part of the unit 3. In day 6 lectures, we are finished unit 3.